All right. Okay, good morning. Thanks for being here. You're the fire horse. They were not lying. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's begin. We can tuck our thumbs into our fingers and let our hands rest on our thighs. Just bring our awareness to our bodies and the alignment of our bodies. And just for a few moments, just staying here with this awareness of what it feels like to be aligned within gravity. Just giving ourselves some time to settle. It's like as if the inside of us was like a snow globe, all swirling around, just sitting here and tuning into the body and just resting in the sensations of our body and allowing all that swirling around to just settle. And if we can attune to the sensations of our body, the weight of our bones, where we're making contact with the ground, where we're rising up into the space around us, those physical sensations create a kind of gravity that can help all that swirling around to settle. We've talked about how in the year of the fire horse, earth is important. And our body corresponds to the earth. Being embodied is another way of saying being grounded. Being grounded, we could say, is like being earthed. And it's true that there's a lot going on in the world, and maybe things that are concerning. But if we're engaging with all of those things, thinking about them, or even actively engaging with them without being grounded, we might just be contributing to the problems. And so taking a moment to just be here wherever here is, which includes everything, not only the stuff that we might not like that's going on, it includes the sun and the trees and the fresh air. So as you settle into your body and ground into the earth, we can expand our awareness to breathe in the fresh air, breathe in the space that surrounds us and that extends further than we can even imagine. And just allowing that space to be the focus of our mind. And as you're ready, we can bring our hands together. Rub the palms together. We'll just do a very brief self-massage this morning. Generating some heat in our hands, allowing our focus to be the sensation of our hands rubbing together. And together we'll take a deep breath in, shake it out, rubbing the palms together, breathing deeply. And let's massage our faces gently up and out, or however feels good. You can go slow, you can go fast. Just feel what this feels like and find what feels good. And when you find what feels good, do that. And then from here, the hands can just come right over the scalp, front to back or back and forth. Clearing out the cobwebs. And then the hands can move down the back of the neck and around the base of the neck. We can bring our palms together. Let the thumbs press in to the sternum as the hands slide down over the chest and then over the lower ribs, massaging the lower ribs, massaging onto the belly. One hand can come over the chest and the other over the belly. And whichever hand is on top can switch and become the lower hand. And if you'd like, you can bring both hands over the abdomen. You can turn your two hands into one. And we can come around our waists to the lower back. And let's draw our hands out. Shake them out. Rub the palms together. Breathing with the whole body. And we can tuck our thumbs back into our fingers. Hands resting on the thighs. And again, just attune to your body and the alignment of your body. Breathing. Allowing the movement of the breath and the sensations of the body to be the focus of the mind. And whenever you're ready, you can relax, you can open your eyes all the way. All right. Any questions about anything? Questions, comments, otherwise? Okay. So, yeah, it's the year of the fire horse. We've been talking about that. You know, it's interesting. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, kind of gave a talk about the fire horse a couple of weeks ago. And he was mentioning how it's always nice to kind of look back at previous fire horse years just to kind of see what was going on. And so, you know, it takes 60 years to go from the same element and the same animal to come back around again. That's a 60-year cycle. And so the last time it was the year of the fire horse was 1966. And so that was when there was the Cultural Revolution in China and the Red Guard, thinking of like the fire and the fire of the horse and the fire of the element in the universe. And then So there's that. There was also the escalation of the Vietnam War that happened. And there was also, the other thing he pointed out that I thought was great was that's when, Revolver and Pet Sounds were both released, which kind of totally shifted the sonic landscape, as far as music and what was going on in that realm. And then also you kind of had like the beginning of what extended into, the Summer of Love the following year as well, and a lot of people kind of exploring psychedelics and this huge cultural transformation that happened in many, many ways. So, maybe positive ways and negative ways, but there was a lot that was going on. And so there's a lot that's going on now as well. And it's been building as well. Maybe even started back then, and now we're kind of around again. It's like it's the spiral, so not a flat circle, but it's kind of spiraling around. And again, we talked about last week, what we have up here, where we're here in fire, which has the tendency to just go off and to flare up, and really focusing on the importance of earth, metal, and water, which again, we can talk about as being earth, as being embodiment or groundedness, or even having a clear intention about what we want, focusing on what we want, not focusing on what we don't want. And then we think about metal related to the lungs and related to the breath, and using the breath as a way of helping to get embodied, as a way to help kind of bring the fire down, to settle things. We've also talked about metal being associated with values and a sense of ethics or morality. It's like the sword of discipline. And so, again, I feel like when we think about 1966 and the cultural transformation that happened, and there was a lot of institutions that needed to be deconstructed and broken down. But, I wasn't alive during that time, but from what I've observed in my lifetime, it seems like there wasn't anything that replaced that was deconstructed and broken down. And it's kind of like what filled the void was like, 80s capitalism of like, let's just get as much as we can, and he who dies with the most toys wins kind of thing. Like that was the slogan of the 80s. And so, I don't think that necessarily is, my personal belief is that's not the greatest kind of ethical guideline to just get as much as possible. And so what are the ethics and the morals that we want to be aligned with, that we want to bring into the forefront? What do we want to breathe in? What do we want to breathe out? What's our intention as we're breathing? And then we also think about water as that reflective stillness, going into the depths, dropping into the potentialities. I think there's a lot of talk about everything's falling apart. It's all, the world's coming to an end. Great! The world is problematic. It's been that way for a long time. What's going to come out of that? What is the potential? What do we want to create out of the end of the world? Because the end means it's a beginning. So what are we starting? What are we beginning? What is that? Like, we need to slow down and drop in and reflect. Like, what would we like to breathe in and breathe out? What happens when we just get grounded and calm and settled, as opposed to being up here with so much activity and thinking and anxiety and worry? That's fire going this way. Fire in its healthy sense is awareness. It's enlightened awareness. It's just being present to what is. It's allowing this innate wisdom of the spirit to just shine forth. But it does that best with emptiness, with a whole lot of space. When we think about the heart, it's the sovereign organ of our bodies. It's the emperor and the empress. And when we think about, I guess wherever we put the sovereigns of different countries, they're typically in places that are surrounded by a bunch of open space. I think that's important. Like in China, you have the Forbidden City. You have like a couple square miles that's just pretty open, just so that there can be space to just be, to just reflect. This idea of wu wei, of non-doing, grasping, not leading the elephant where you want it to go, but just to kind of let this resonant vibration just hum without making it into anything. And so that requires work. That requires groundedness. That requires breath, steady, rhythmic breathing that's attuned with a kind of value system that's informed by what? By emptiness. So, like in that quote, the times are urgent. Let us slow down. Let us just not do anything maybe for just a moment. When everything is going on, it's like, well, I got to do something. Do you really? Like Einstein says, problems aren't solved by the thinking that created them. So if we're anxious or fearful or angry or any of those things, like, isn't that how we got to where we are right now? So can we try something different? So then we can do Qigong.
What's the depth of the
Oh, this is wood.
wood?
Yes, and so wood feeds fire, and wood is nourished by water. And so again, that's also thinking about wood is that kind of assertive, like creative expression, that moving outward. Wood is kind of like the doing. And so what's the wood that's feeding your fire? Again, is it belligerent anger? Is it like, I hate these people, and I hate the way they talk, and I hate their stupid faces, and I don't even want to hear their voices? Like, that's the wood that is feeding the fire. And sure, maybe that's there, but rather than doing something from that, rather than putting that wood into your fire, it's like, just, be with that for a little bit. Let it unwind. Let it dissipate. Let that energy clear out, so that then what is coming forth are seeds that are a little bit, maybe the seeds that we want to come to fruition. We don't want to water the seeds, as Thich Nhat Hanh likes to say, like, watering the seeds of greed and hatred and delusion. Like, we all have them, but you don't have to water all the seeds that are there. You can water the seeds that are a little bit more about compassion and enlightened awareness and things like this. Yeah. All right. So, let's do some Qigong. Let's see, there's a little glare. I'm just going to wipe the camera. See if that does anything. Okay. All right. So we've been doing the 6 sounds therapy. And so it in my own practice with it, it continues to evolve and change a little bit. So I think how we do it this week some parts of it might even be slightly different than how we did it last week. And it keeps it fun. The sounds are the same. And before we get into the 6 sounds therapy, I'd like to do just kind of a little bit of a warm-up form. And some of the movements in this warm-up, they will show up again in the 6 sounds therapy. So let's just relax. Loosen our bodies, find a comfortable standing position. Your feet can be however wide or narrow apart works for you. You can roll your shoulders up and back. You can bounce your knees. You can bounce up and down. You can wiggle and shake. Just do as you need for a couple moments to just get ready. And as you're ready, you can settle into a nice standing posture. Just feeling your feet on the ground, letting your knees be soft. Using your breath to find the sides and the back of your rib cage. Breathing wide into the back of the rib cage. And lifting up through the back of the head, like you're reaching the back and the base of your skull away from your heels. So the chin will slightly tuck as you're reaching up through the base of the skull, allowing the weight to settle down through the heel bones more than the balls of the feet. And if that feels unsteady, you can always spread the floor apart to find some more stability. And as you inhale and breathe the back of the ribs wide and full, that in-breath in the back of the rib cage can help the neck and the base of the skull lift up and away from the shoulders, from the hips, from the heels, which can all drop down into the earth. And so you have this rising up of yang energy, you have this sinking down of yin energy. And in between yin and yang, there's life, there's qi, there's breath. On your next inhalation, just inhale the arms out to the sides. And then exhale, the hands float down, palms come back to back, your chin can come close to your chest. On the inhale, slowly roll your hands up, palms face up. And then opening, palms up, turn the palms down and exhale. So we hold our breath a little bit there. So we're going to inhale and roll up, palms up, looking up as the arms open, the palms stay up. When you get shoulder level, turn the palms down and exhale. Like that. Inhale, palms up, holding as we open, turn the palms down, exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Palms up, stretch, open wide, turning the palms down, out. Last one. And out. Palms back to back will come up again. The hands stay up. And then it's like we're grasping something. So roll in, pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index finger. Fingertips point down as the hands move down the body, down the thighs. Hips move back, spine stays nice and tall. And then the hips drop down a little bit higher than the knees. The hands float out in front, thumbs and index fingers up. Lead with your thumbs and index fingers, press through your heels to come up. And then again, rolling in with your fingers. Down the body, just breathing naturally. Hips back, knees bend. So we're in a nice high squat here as the hands reach up and then lift through the thumbs and index fingers. And again, grabbing down. Hands float out. Hips and hands are reaching away from each other and we rise. And again. Hips back. No need to go too deep. Knees spread away from each other. Rising up. Last time. Hips back. Spine is nice and tall, arms float out, press through your heels, lift through your thumbs and index fingers. And then we're going to make a big circle. And then one out in front of the chest, and one in front of the belly. And the hands sweep back, and we can go down just as low as is comfortable, up the front of the body. And then the arms cross and we reach open. And again, big circle up above, a circle in the middle, and a circle down low. Sweep back behind you and down. Up the front of the body. When you get to the belly, the hands can cross and it's like you're reaching up, stretching. And again, circle. Just breathing natural. down low, back behind us, and down. Again, up the front, opening, circling up above, and in the middle, and down low, back behind us, and down. Let's do 2 more, up the front, open, back behind, and down, up the front. Arms can cross and we lift, making a circle. And in front, and down low, and back behind us, and down. And this time the hands can come up, cross, opening, and now we'll cross at the wrists. The hands can float down. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, palms back to back. Inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale, back up. Turn the palms down. Exhale. Palms back to back. Again, in and out. In and out. 2 more. Taking your time. Palms back to back. This time we'll come up. And then again, cross at the wrists. Hands float down on either side of the sternum. Down the front of the body, uncross. And again, a squat. Hips back, spine stays tall. Knees move away from each other as the hands slide down as low as is comfortable. The hands float out. Palms back to back as the fingers come in and down. And then reach through your pinkies, and that's what pulls you up. And then again, crossing at the wrists. Down either side of the sternum. Uncross the arms. Hips back and squat. Knees move away from each other. Palms back to back. Lead with the pinkies. 1 more time. Down. Uncross. Squatting. Staying tall with your spine. Lead with your pinkies to rise up. And then the palms come together. And they drop down. And the palms open towards you. And continue opening until your palms are facing out. Thumbs are forward. Hand in front of the heart. I'll mirror you. We'll take the window hand. It can sweep back. And then like we're grabbing something and pushing it out, hissing through our teeth. And the hand comes back behind your head and draw it in. And then again, like dragon breathing. Inhale. Forceful exhale. Again. In. Out. Last time. In. Out. In. Out. Hands come up. And then down. We can inhale out. And if we wanted, we can just start again. But we'll finish here. So just stand a few moments. So just movements for each of the 6 conformations. 6 movements. You don't need to know any of this, but a movement for Tai Yang, Yang Ming, Xiao Yang, Tai Yin, Xiao Yin, Jui Yin. So we've got our meridians open, moving, flowing. So now we can do 6 sounds therapy, working not just with the meridians, but also with the organs. If the meridians are like rivers, the organs are like pools. And so we can go in and make sure that the pool is clear and clean, and the rivers flow smoothly, freely, unobstructed. So let's gather our arms out and up, step the feet a little closer together, and then exhale into Diamond Mudra. Feeling your feet on the ground, allowing the knees to be unlocked, lifting through the base of the skull, up and back. So the back of the neck is long, the chin is slightly tucked, collarbones lift slightly, and we breathe wide into the backside of the rib cage. So as you breathe, maybe you can feel like the edge of your shirt that's right under your arms moving. We're breathing into the ribs more than we're breathing into the belly. And we'll begin 6 sounds therapy. So from the lower dantian, allow a ball of energy to rise up. You can lift the shoulders up and then back and down and sink. Open out towards the windows, arms open, and then just soften. Like you're creating a ball of energy in between your hands, and then lifting through the elbows, lengthening the legs, and relax. So the first sound is for the liver and for the wood element. So this movement, it's like a tree, a flexible tree, being able to move in the wind, strong, stable roots, solid, flexible branches. This is like a dynamic horse stance. Horse stance is sometimes called tree pose. So breathing into the liver, under the lower ribs, breathing into the diaphragm. Like as the arms lift on the inhale, it's like the diaphragm muscle is expanding, opening like an umbrella. And then we can relax, and the diaphragm relaxes. And as you're ready, your hands can float in over the lower ribs and just gently massaging the lower ribs and the area of the liver. If you'd like, you can visualize the tender green color of the wood element, like the leaves of springtime. And before we make the sound for the liver, let's just do some movements to cleanse and flush the liver. So the hands can come around the waist, and then we'll inhale up and exhale, clear your liver. Hands swing back. So this is like liver detox, liver cleanse. And as we get our liver clear, then what's coming forward? Healthy, clean liver energy, healthy creativity, vision, perspective, creative decisiveness, healthy imagination. One more. Let the hands float back over the liver, massaging, nourishing, softening, smoothing the liver chi. Visualizing that healthy green, almost like a blue-green color, like peacock feathers. And we'll make the healing sound for the liver, which is shoo. Nice and easy. Keeping the eyes open as we make the sound. So hands around the waist. Inhaling up through the backside of the liver. Right into the next one. Again. Inhale. Exhale. Hands into Diamond Mudra. Breathing into your liver. Breathing into the area of the lower ribs, not just in the front, all the way around. The liver is a big organ, and it includes not only the liver, but also the diaphragm muscle. Also, all of the tendons and the ligaments in our bodies, our joints, our ability to move, to express ourselves, to articulate with our environment. And then allowing that healthy blue-green energy of the liver with your intention to rise up into the lungs, into the backside of the rib cage. Feeling the whole rib cage from the bottom of the ribs all the way up to the top, which is a lot of space. Just breathing into all that space, visualizing the size of the lungs. Breathing into the lungs like you're breathing the sky. Like your lungs are the sky. So spacious, so big, so clear and clean. The hands can relax and we can step out a little bit wider. And so as you begin to breathe deeply, let your breath push your arms away from the body. And exhale, relax. And a big breath. Let the breath move the arms. One more time. This time as you exhale, palms back to back. We've done this movement once already. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale back up. And exhale, palms come back to back. Two more like that. In. And out. And in. And out. Like you're flying in the sky. Two more. It's a nice movement. feel the space. Feel the freedom. One more. Flying. This time, wrap your arms around yourself. Chin towards the chest. Hang out here. If you need to breathe, breathe. But we're stretching the backside of the rib cage, creating space behind the heart, in between the shoulder blades. Another breath in. Exhale. Palms back to back. Inhale. Exhale. In. And exhale. Wrap your arms around yourself. Opposite arm in front this time. Chin towards the chest. Breathe. Allow your breath to stretch the backside of your upper body. One more big breath in. Exhale, relax. Inhale, palms back to back. Exhale, open. The arms can just come out to the sides, and you can keep your head forward if you'd like. If you want to look up a little bit, you can. Find what's comfortable. Turn your thumbs back and down so that you really stretch and open these muscles of the upper chest under the collarbone. Take your gaze and turn towards the mirror hand. Just look at it. And then come back towards the center and shift your gaze over towards the window hand. And then back to center. And I'll mirror you. We'll bring our window hand in, and then our mirror hand in. And we'll make the healing sound for the lungs, which is like a zzz, like a Z sound with the teeth together. Get vibration up into your sinuses. Let your teeth really vibrate. Feel the vibration in your head and in your sinuses, maybe even down into your throat and your upper chest. And we're going to tap the upper chest as we make the sound. And we'll probably take a breath in between each sound, unlike we did for the liver. Breathing in. Again, inhale. Breathing. One more time. Big breath in. Send the hands out in front and then bring the palms together. And then the hands can float back in front of the heart. And just resting here for a moment. There's a message on my screen. I'm just looking at it. Okay. Thank you, Zoom. So feeling all that energy in our chest, in our sinuses and throat, in our lungs. And inviting that energy with our intention to settle into the center of our chest, underneath where our hands are, into our hearts. Breathing into your heart, visualizing the healthy red color of the heart. And rather than the heart raging like a bonfire, allow the heart to be a steady candle flame. undisturbed. Just a nice, steady, gentle flame. Breathing into the heart and feeling space within and around your heart. I mean, think about what space can do. Like if you take half a cup of salt and pour it into a cup of water, you can't really drink that water anymore, but take half a cup of salt and pour it into a river, no problem. So allow the space within your heart to make itself present. Breathe into that space. And then visualizing the heart like a red lotus flower, not yet open, similar to our hands, in front of our chests, and our hands can be this lotus, a red lotus ready to bloom. So let's help the lotus to bloom. So we can send the arms up, overhead, stretch. If you can, bring your biceps close to your ears, reaching up. And then from here, see if you can open through your fingers. Allow the lotus to bloom, open up above, feeling the stretch in the forearms. And then we can let the wrists cross. The hands can float down either side of the sternum. We don't need to go as low as we did with the first form. The hands can uncross. Staying nice and tall, hips go back just a little bit, hands go down but not too far. And then they float out in front. Bring your fingertips towards your heart. Point your fingertips down. Lead with your pinkies as you float up, overhead, stretch. And then cross at the wrists. Hands float down, guiding the awareness downwards into the body. Diving deep, gathering up, checking in with the heart, following down and then up through the pinkies. Stretch, reach, and again, crossing at the wrists. The hands float down the front of the body, uncross over the hips, down just a little, floating out fingertips towards the heart, and then down. Leading with the pinkies, up, stretch, and again. Exhaling, inhaling, and out. In, stretch, one more. In, and then palms together, exhaling as the hands float down back in front of the heart. And we'll make the healing sound for the heart, which is ka. K-E, or maybe phonetically K-A-H. And we'll bloom the lotus and bring the forearms together, if you can't see because of my black shirt. So really together. As much as you can, stretching the space between the heart, or between the shoulder blades behind the heart. Inhaling. Take your middle fingers and massage your heart center. Breathing, visualizing your heart, the size and the shape of your heart, the red color of your heart. And as we make the sound, see if you can feel the vibration in your heart, in your chest. Palms together. Inhale. Massaging the heart and breathing. Allow your awareness to be in your heart organ. Visualize the healthy red color of your heart. Visualize the space in and around your heart, especially behind your heart. One more time, palms together. Inhale. Massaging the heart, breathing. We can bring our palms back together in front of the heart, feeling the energy in our hearts, in our chests. And then with our intention, we can guide the energy from our hearts down into our kidneys. And so the hands can come down over the belly and then around the waist. And getting into the lower back, maybe the lower ribs, the area of the kidneys, as much as is possible, and just feeling into the kidneys, the kidney organs. They look like kidney beans. They're a deep, dark, blue-black color, like the darkest colored blood you can imagine. They are a deep resource, deep within our bodies. The adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys. They play such a role in regulating our hormones, our endocrine system. They have so much to do with growth and development, with reproduction, with the ability to survive. So dropping into the kidneys, visualizing these organs deep and dark within the body, like we're sinking down into the ocean, deep underwater, becoming like turtles, deep underwater. So our hands can come around our waists and then down the legs. Let your hips come back, the spine is nice and tall, and like we said before, you can stay right here. If you want to stay here, the thing to think about is knees moving away from each other, weight more in the heels than the balls of the feet, so you should be able to lift your toes, even lift the whole front of your foot off the ground as you're weighted in your heels, hips reaching back. If you want to go lower, you can go down as low as is comfortable, maybe to your feet. And your hips can stay above your knees, back more like a tabletop. And then we're going to breathe like turtles. So we'll inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, bring the chin down to the chest. The hips may drop some, and then inhale, roll yourself up. And then exhale, reaching through the chin, out and down. Inhale, roll up. We'll do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. In and out. Last one. In in and out. Weight in the heels. Press through your heels to lift your hips up. Let that drag your hands up your legs as you come up to stand. Hands come over the lower dantian. So this turtle movement is kind of the most involved. I've actually edited it some, so it's a little shorter than what we've been doing. So settling into the lower belly, into the lower dantian, settling into your bones. Like feel your pelvis. You can even put your hands on your hip bones, feeling your leg bones, feeling your feet making contact with the ground, feeling your shoulder blades on the back of your rib cage, breathing into your spine, your neck, your skull. Like feel your bones. And then let's work on stabilizing our bones and our balance. So I'll mirror you. We can bring our mirror foot in. And let's do it really easy for this time. So just lift your heel off the ground, toes on the ground. We'll inhale. And then exhale, point. You can touch the ground and then inhale. And then through the heel. Come back, shift sides. So in, out. In, out. Again, shifting sides. Shift sides, in, out. In, out. If you'd like to challenge yourself, come up a little higher. Shifting sides and inhale. Shift sides. Shift. It's kind of like marching. Again. Yeah, one more time. Come back to center. Now we'll make the healing sound, right to it. The sound is chui. It's like this. We inhale, the arms out. Exhale. Cross the arms. Inhale up. Tuck your thumbs into your fingers. Send your hips back. Chui. Hands over the belly and breathe. Yeah, that's good. So the hips are back. Back of the head is lifting up and back. Strong backside of the body. Weight is in the heels. As we make the sound, feel the vibration in your lower back. You'll feel this area working. That's the point. Strengthening the kidneys. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, cross the arms. Inhale up. Breathe into the lower back rib cage. Breathe into your kidneys. Breathe into your bones. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Crossing the arms. Inhale. Thumbs tuck in the fingers. You can bring your hands around your waist, checking back in with the kidneys, the lower back, the lower rib cage, feeling the energy in the lower back. Breathing into the size and the shape and the color of the kidneys. And then with your intention, we can guide that energy from the kidneys around to the solar plexus, in between the belly button and the base of the sternum, and visualizing the golden yellow color of our digestive organs, visualizing the spleen and the pancreas and the stomach, and even the upper small intestine, visualizing the golden yellow color of the solar plexus of the third chakra, and then from here, we can bring our arms up overhead, step the feet a little closer together, palms together, and then the hands can float down, coming to rest in front of the heart. And then this next movement can be as big or as small as works for you. Let's just be intentful with how we do it. So let's inhale. As we exhale, keep the fingertips up as you send the hands over towards the mirrors. And the hips may shift to counterbalance, and just go out as far as you can. And then lay the hands flat and inhale. When you get to the center, the fingertips come up again, and then exhale and send them fingertips up, out towards the windows as far as is comfortable. And then inhale, flatten the hands out. Come back to center, fingertips come back up, and they stay up as you go out the other side. In and out. And you can bend your knees, you can shift your weight, you can find a kind of flexible undulation. Inhaling as you come to center, exhaling as the hands move away from you. Finding your rhythm. And again, the organs associated with the digestive meridians, or the animals associated with the digestive meridians, the dragon and the snake. So feeling that dragon, snaky energy moving. We're just coming out of a snake year, and before that was a dragon year. These digestive organs, which take in something and digest it and break it down into nothing, which is really everything. So all that we thought we knew, everything we had figured out, the habits and the patterns, all of that has been digested. That skin has been shed. So just let it move, let it go, and feel some of the freedom that comes from being nothing and everything. And then come to center. Fingertips up. We'll take a slightly wider stance. And we'll send our hands up. And again, like you're grasping something, pinky first, pinky, middle finger, or ring finger, middle finger, index finger, and then bring it down. Hips back, spine stays tall, and we settle into our heels. And then we can reach out and rise up. And again, like you're grabbing it in, pulling it in and down and through, sitting, knees move apart. You know, we can hang out here. And then we can lift through our thumbs and grasping experience, bringing it in through our eyes, nose, mouth, and we digest it. We release what's not ours to hold on to, and we can do it again. Squatting, settling to the heels, taking your time, rising up. And then this time, we'll go down as we've been doing. Hips back, down. And now let's, like we're gathering something, still lifting with our legs, not our back. So pressing through the heels, just stand up and pull your hands into your belly. And massage your solar plexus. And breathe. And we'll make the healing sound for the digestive organs, which is whoo. And as you do, if you'd like to bounce on your heels gently, you can. Big breath in. Whoo. Breathing. Visualize the golden yellow color of your third chakra, of your solar plexus, of your power center. And the dragon is a super powerful creature. This golden yellow dragon. Everything and nothing. Feel the vibration in your solar plexus as you make the sound. Inhale. Establishing the strong, healthy earth element within us, our center of gravity. One more time. Inhale. You can relax your hands down, and we'll inhale the arms out and up, step a little closer together. Exhale the hands down the front of the body, hands into diamond mudra. Feeling that energy in the solar plexus. Acupoint right in the center of the solar plexus. Zhongwan, the center or the central vessel. That's you. Breathe into that space. And from that central vessel, allow the energy to expand outward. Expand the radius to include not just the solar plexus, but all of your organs in your trunk, the organs of your abdomen, the organs of your chest, the front and the back of the trunk, extending out through the arms and the legs and up into the head, filling the whole body and expanding beyond your body out into the space around you, into the room you're in, into the building, into the town, the state, the nation, the planet, the galaxy, the universe. whole universe that's happening right now. Like, we're in that. That's mind-blowing. And we can feel into that. We can, with this gift of awareness that we've been given, we can attune to that spaciousness that's beyond what we can even imagine. We can relax our hands, step out a little wider, the hands flow out, shoulder level. Let's bring the mirror hand underneath and the window hand up top. The palms are facing each other. And then we'll take a nice inhalation and bring this bottom hand up overhead. The palms are facing away from each other, looking over our open shoulder towards the windows, stretching. And then exhale, turn the palms towards each other. Let the hands start to just move closer. Breathe natural. When your hands get close, let's take a breath in and exhale. And then a big breath, lower hand rises. Stretch, press the palms away from each other. Look up and overhead. And then relax. On the inhale, press your palms away. Lower palm presses down, upper palm presses up, and then exhale. Big breath. Stretch. Holding at the top of the inhale again. Exhale. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. Lower palm facing down, upper palm facing up. Exhale, palms towards each other. The palms stay where they are. We just inhale. Stretch and exhale. One more time. Big inhale. Exhale. Palms can come down into Diamond Mudra, or hands can come down into Diamond Mudra. A slightly narrower stance, but not too narrow. And then let's bring the hands out and up. And overhead, we'll make a circle. And in the middle, we'll make a circle. And down low, we'll make a circle. Hands come over the lower dantian. And we make the healing sound for the triple warmer, which is the integrated function of all of the organs. The sound is she, and it makes you smile when you make the sound. So big breath in. She. Relax. Inhaling the hands up, and then breathing naturally as you make a circle for the heavens, the sky, a circle for all of life, everyone and everything, no exclusions, and for the earth. Inhale. And again, hands floating up. We'll make a circle for all of our ancestors. And a circle for our friends and family and community. And a circle for ourselves. Breathing in. can let your hands just relax by your sides. You can find a stance that's just easy and comfortable. And just stand for a few moments. Just drift. With each breath, maybe revisiting each organ, like breathing into the liver organ, the tender green color of the liver. Breathing into your lungs, the big, open expanse of the lungs. Breathing into your heart, that steady red candle flame, that red lotus of the heart. And deep into the kidneys, deep in the body, close to the spine, in the center of our bodies. Breathing into the golden yellow solar plexus and digestive organs. And then breathing with the whole body, with every organ, every cell, every tissue. And exchanging qi with the universe. Allowing the universe to move into and through you, and allowing yourself to move out, rejoining the universe. And then we can inhale our arms out and up, step the feet a little closer together. Exhaling down the front of the body, hands coming into diamond mudra in front of the lower dantian. And just feeling stability, breathing, calmness. Allowing a settled, calm mind to just open into emptiness, spaciousness. And that space becomes filled with light. You can relax your hands, you can relax your stance. And let's gently rub our palms together, nice and easy, nice and slow. And gently massaging our faces. And then a couple times over our scalps. Down the back of the neck and around, palms together, over the chest and the lower ribs and the belly. And around the waist to the lower back. We can draw our hands out, shake them out, and let's gently pat up one arm. And down. And up the other arm gently. And down. And then around and down the back of the body. Up the front. One more time, around and down. And up. Yeah, and so again, fire has a tendency to over-control metal. Our mind, our worries, our thoughts and anxieties can have an impact on our lungs, on our breathing. So using the breath is a really good thing to do all the time, and especially this year. So let's just do 3 really gentle sighs of contentment. So, breathing in. Make the sound. Don't forget the breath. And don't forget the utility of the breath, the benefit of the breath, the medicine of the breath. Right. So thank you so much. Thank you for practicing. Thank you for making medicine for yourselves and for everyone else. All right. I hope you have a great week. Let me know if you'd like a recording. I will send you a link. All right. Any questions from anyone on Zoom about anything? Okay. Thank you so much for being here, for practicing. And we'll see you next time.